Hello there. My name is Chris Ikpekurede. I'm an engineer and a writer and an elder of the Church of Christ. Welcome to my YouTube channel. You know what? God is hearing our prayers. The prayers that we have fervently rendered to Him on behalf of our dear nation, Nigeria. Now, He's heard us so well that the enemies of Nigeria, the witches that have been troubling this nation, they have begun to confess in the open. In fact, the thing is so much that a senator of the Federal Republic has made a confession that has literally thrown his wife under a moving train. I tell you, wahala will soon burst out in that family. Wahala go soon shele for that family. Just stay tuned for more news on this matter. Senator Adamu Muhammad Bulkachuwa, a senator representing Bauchi North in the last Senate, has confessed how he used his wife's position as the president of the Court of Appeal to swing court judgments in favor of his party men and the APC. He made this confession without caring how it will damage the reputation of both his wife and that of the judiciary of our nation. Now we know what had happened, with the judgments, some of the strange judgments that came from the Court of Appeal. We know what had happened. And by the way, the man does not have the best track record either. In 2020, eyes popped at the expenditures he reported on his constituency projects in Bauchi. His expenditure of monies on those so-called constituency projects raised eyebrows. Now, thinking about it, Muhammad and all the variants of that name apparently do not portend any good for Nigeria. Now, whether it is Muhammad or Muhammadu or Mahmoud, they are all dangerous for our nation. Of course, his wife, who retired in 2020, can deny the allegations made by the husband and actually denounce him outright. If she decides to sue to protect her reputation, this old man, 83-year-old man, will come under immense pressure to prove the wrongs of his wife. That is why I say news goes soon shele for that family. After all, it's going to be his word against that of his wife. The man will need unimpeachable evidence to establish the culpability of his wife. But my worry is this. Has this 83-year-old man stockpiled enough evidence to back up his bombshell? Has he? Listen, let me quote what the man said during his confession. Quote, "They sought for my help and I did my best. In most cases, I succeeded and they thanked me for what I had done." Unquote. That was what he had to say concerning his colleagues whom he helped win spurious court judgments through his wife. In his confession, he stated openly that he encroached on the freedom and the independence of his wife as a judge of the appeal court, and the wife obliged him. The wife obliged him. Man, we have seen corruption work about in this nation with impunity. But here we see corruption speaking openly and speaking loudly. What is corruption going to do next in this country? Just what is this APC phenomenon that the devil has foisted on this nation? Where are we headed to? Now, should we say that this is an old man that has probably lost his mind out of aging? A whole senator of the Federal Republic? I don't think so. Actually, this man promised the APC leadership he was going to mess them up for not recognizing his contributions to the success of the party, for not recognizing him sufficiently as a mover and shaker of the party. Apparently, the man has not taken his loss of the re-election bid to come to the Senate. He has not taken it lightly. In fact, late 2022, on account of that alone, he defected to the PDP. Now he is singing, and singing very loudly too. This is clearly not an old man that is mentally challenged. No, that's not the case. This is a man that is on a vendetta mission to expose the APC in the twilight of his own political career. At a point in his confession, the scandalized members of his party were shouting, "Time up, time up, time up." They tried to shut him up and off his mic, as it were. But the old man persisted. I want you to listen to a clip of his confession.
At my age, I don't think I will lobby anybody under the sun. I would do the right thing, and I always do the right thing, and sincerely and honestly too. So, I know, I look at faces in this chamber whom have come to me and sought for my help when my wife was the president of the Court of Appeal. And I'm sure
the Civil Senator Adam Ahmed Bulgacho, I think I would advise that you just round up and take your seat.
Name any names. We know ourselves. I must say that, okay, to round up, since that's what you want me to do, I will do that. And I must thank particularly my wife, whose freedom and independence I encroached upon while she was in office. And she has been very tolerant and accepted my encroachment and extended her help to my colleagues.
Distinguished, please, I don't think this is a good idea going this direction. It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
It was during the valedictory session of the Senate on the 10th of June. That session became an opening of a can of worms as members opened up and poured out their deep thoughts and vengeful utterances. It was a self-indicting session for the APC as a party. The party clearly shot itself in the foot through that valedictory session in the Senate. The characters in that party called APC are simply something else. Now, but shouldn't this man and his wife, who have serially obstructed justice in this country based on their own confession, be arrested and prosecuted? Shouldn't this so-called mover and shaker be moved to a prison to die there? Haba! We have watched the new APC government arrest the governor of the central bank and then suspend the chairman of the EFCC and detain him. Now, we are watching to see what they will do to this self-confessed felon and stalwart of the APC. In any case, who is more corrupt than a government that rigged its way to power? Who is going to order their arrest? Shouldn't the one who comes to Equity come with clean hands? Now, Mrs. Zainab Bulkachua was the president of the Court of Appeal, as I've said. The same court that is presently looking at Peter Obi's petition. Obi understands the capacity of these evildoers to overlook evil when they see it. He does. That is why he is loading the court and loading them with evidences. So much evidence that if another crazy pair of husband and wife decide to subvert the course of justice, they will have too much evidence to contend with. The evidence will be so much they cannot cover it with one romantic action in their bedroom. It won't happen. Here is one thing that amazed me recently. As I followed the proceedings in the Court of Appeal, the tribunal, I learned that, in fact, Peter Obi recruited a university professor of mathematics and statistics in advance of the elections of February 25th. Somebody, an expert he recruited ahead of the election to analyze the data that will come out of the election. Obi clearly understands the pedigree of the people he is dealing with. Man, that guy is smart. And let me say that the days of these evildoers are numbered. They are numbered. Please share and like this video, and by all means, subscribe. And see you next time.